It was supposed to be a simple drive home. Four friends, Ethan, Maya, Liam, and Clara, had spent the weekend near the lakeside, celebrating the end of exams. They laughed, they drank, and they decided to take a shortcut through Black Hollow Forest. Ethan said it would save them at least 40 minutes. But the locals in town had warned them no one used that road anymore. Not since the disappearances. The night was quiet, too quiet. The road cut deep through the woods, wrapped in thick fog, and only the car's headlights sliced through the darkness. The hum of the engine was the only sound left. Maya leaned forward, staring out the window. "This doesn't look right," she said softly. "Are you sure this is the shortcut?" Ethan laughed. "Relax, it's just a forest road." But his eyes, they kept shifting nervously between the mirrors. Liam, sitting in the back, joked. "Every horror movie starts this way, man. Guy takes a shortcut through some cursed forest, boom, end credits." They all laughed. But when the laughter faded, silence filled the car again. And then the radio turned on. By itself. Static buzzed, rising slowly, and then a faint whisper came through the speakers, soft, distorted, almost human. "Don't stop the car." Clara looked up sharply. "Did you hear that?" Ethan reached to switch it off, but before his fingers touched the dial, a black shadow darted across the road. The tires screeched. The car swerved, spun, and crashed into a ditch. Then silence. When Ethan opened his eyes, everything was fog. Steam rose from the hood. Maya's hands were shaking. Clara was crying. "Is everyone okay?" Ethan whispered. They were bruised but alive. The forest outside looked endless. No road, no lights, no sounds. Liam stepped out first, rubbing his head. "Where's the road?" Ethan pointed behind them, but the road was gone. It was just grass, fog, and trees. Maya turned slowly in a circle. "Guys, I think we're lost." That's when they saw it, a dim yellow light flickering through the fog, deep inside the trees. Ethan grabbed a flashlight from the car. "Come on, maybe someone's there." The group followed him through the cold, wet air. Every step echoed strangely, as if the forest was hollow underneath. The deeper they went, the quieter it became. Not even crickets. Not even the wind. After what felt like forever, they reached it. An old wooden cabin stood in a small clearing. Its windows were shattered, its roof half collapsed, and yet a single candle glowed faintly through the cracks. "Someone's inside," Clara whispered. Ethan shook his head. "No, that light's too still." They hesitated, but then a loud snap echoed behind them. A branch breaking. Maya gasped, "Did you hear that?" Ethan didn't answer. He just pushed the door open. The air inside was thick and cold, filled with dust and something else. "Something rotten." Liam gagged. "It smells like death in here." The candle flickered on a small wooden table, surrounded by carvings on the walls. Ethan raised the flashlight. What the hell? Hundreds of names were scratched into the wood. Some deep, some fresh. Maya stepped closer. "Wait, these names." Her hand stopped midair. "Ethan," she whispered. "These are our names." Ethan blinked. "That's not funny." She pointed. There it was. 4 names carved perfectly into the wall. Ethan, Maya, Liam, Clara. The room grew colder. Suddenly, a faint scratching came from behind the wall. Slow at first, then faster, sharper. Clara backed away. "What is that?" No one answered. Then came the whisper. Close, right behind Ethan's ear. "Don't look up." Ethan froze, his breath caught. "Maya," he said quietly, "don't." But she did. Her eyes widened. She dropped the flashlight. "Oh my God." They all looked. Hundreds of pale, Gray hands were pressed against the ceiling. Thin, twitching, moving slowly as if alive. And then one by one, they began to crawl. The candle went out. Screams filled the cabin. When the light flickered back from the flashlight, they were huddled together near the fireplace. Liam pointed at something on the floor. "Look under there." There was a loose board. Ethan pulled it open. A small wooden chest sat underneath. Inside, old photographs. Dozens of them. Each photo showed a group of people standing in front of this same cabin. Maya picked one up. "These are different people, different years. Look, 1983, 1994, 2008. Clara found one more at the bottom of the box. She froze. "Guys, this one's us." It was true. A photograph of the four of them, standing right outside the cabin. Same clothes, same expressions. But the photo was old, yellowed, burned around the edges. How is that possible?" Maya whispered. That's when the whisper came again. "You shouldn't have come back." The voice was no longer behind the wall. It was inside the room. The rocking chair in the corner began to move slowly, creaking back and forth. Clara screamed, "Who's there?" No answer. Only the whisper, louder now, dozens of voices overlapping, chanting their names. Ethan grabbed the flashlight. "We're leaving now." They ran into the forest, stumbling through the fog. But the deeper they went, the darker it got. No matter which way they turned, the same cabin appeared ahead. Over and over again. Maya fell to her knees, crying. "It's looping, we can't get out." Ethan looked around in panic. Then he saw it, a tree, massive and old, with carvings all over its trunk. Their names again. Fresh, still wet with blood. Ethan touched the bark and pulled his hand away. It was warm. Liam whispered, "What if we never left the car?" Everyone went quiet. The forest around them seemed to breathe. And then a phone rang. Ethan pulled his phone out. The screen was cracked, the battery icon flashing red. One unread message. From his wife. Maya stared at it. "Ethan, your wife died 4 years ago." Ethan's lips trembled. The message said only one thing. "I care about you, come home." The screen flickered, then died. Ethan dropped the phone. The whispers stopped. For the first time all night, the forest went completely silent. Days later, a group of hikers found a rusted car in a ditch off the forest road. The windows were fogged from the inside. 4 phones were found in the seats, each with a single unread message. The police took the car, the phones, the photographs. But the names inside the cabin were never erased. Some say if you drive through Black Hollow Forest after midnight, you'll hear the whispers on your radio. A voice, soft and broken, saying, "Don't stop the car. And if you do, you might never leave either."
Subscribe for more stories.